Hi, I'm Diane.
And I'm Jenna. We're going to talk to you about writing an obituary.
An obituary is a written announcement of someone's death, usually found in a newspaper.
Typically, obituaries contain biographical information in a specific pattern.
Obituaries begin with the person's full name, age at death, date of death, and where they died. Additionally, the cause of death may be mentioned here.
Obituaries then focus on family. It will state whether the person was married or not. If married, the name of the spouse and how many years they were married will be mentioned. Surviving children, grandchildren, sisters and brothers, parents or grandparents will also be listed, usually with a phrase like, Joe was survived by.
Obituaries also include the person's main accomplishments, their educational background, awards, career highlights, or publications. In addition, prominent organizations in the person's life may be listed, such as their church.
Sometimes the obituary will include what the person is most remembered for by others, or their special interests or hobbies.
Finally, obituaries typically have information on funeral services and where contributions can be made on behalf of the deceased.
Some obituaries have a recent photo of the person, but not always.
The families of the deceased pay for many obituaries in the newspapers by the word, so they are often to the point. They have very formal, pared-down language. Sometimes they even forgo words that can be assumed for the sake of shortness.
Obituaries are generally pretty serious in tone. Some obituaries celebrate the person's life, others are more somber. In general, though, obituaries have a factual voice. To sum up, just the facts, ma'am.
Obituaries are a good genre to capture a lot of information about a person in a small space. Obituaries represent a person's whole life in just a handful of words. A lot can be learned from just a few lines.
If I use this genre to share something about Inside Out and Back Again, I might want to write an obituary for Miss Washington's son. I would try to explore Miss Washington's character for this, since it's likely that she would write his obituary.
It would also be a chance to explore what Vietnam was like for an American soldier in a brief way.
Now we'll talk about some steps for writing an obituary.
Step 1. Gather all the biographical information you need, including birthday, death date, where the person died, where they lived, whether or not they are married, and who their surviving family members are.
Step 2. Decide what other information you want to include. What kind of accomplishments do you want to list? Is there something noteworthy or interesting about the person you might want to include separate from work and family life?
Step 3. Organize your information in a logical way. One way to organize it may be biographical information, family information, education and work information, organization information, extra information, and funeral information.
Step 4. Write the obituary. Remember that the tone is serious and that the language is often sparse and formal.
Let's look at an example.
This example is up on the Edmodo site. It's for Norma Hargruder. Norma Hargruder, 95, of Southern Pines, passed away on January 6, 2014 at St. Joseph of the Pines. Norma was a loving, caring, devoted mother and grandmother. She grew up on Long Island and graduated from Packard School in New York City. She was active in the Garden Club and the Women's Club. She also volunteered for 20 years at Cape Cod Hospital. She was a member of the First Congregational Church of Chatham. She was predeceased by her loving husband, Wilfred Hargruder. She is survived by 2 sons, Robert Hargruder and his wife, Pauline, of Saratoga, New York, and Donald Hargruder and his wife, Terry, of Daleville, Virginia. Also survived by 5 grandchildren, Jacqueline, Chris, Ryan, Corey, and Christy. A memorial service was held on Thursday, January 30th at 2 p.m. at Belle Meade. Online condolences may be left at www.fuelbowlsfuneralhome.com.
That's all you need to know about writing an obituary. We put a few more examples on the Edmodo site. We hope this guide helps you write a successful obituary. Good luck!